like a bias to quality and execution. You know, there's a reason why, like, you play any sport, fundamentals always come first, right? Even pros, when they're not playing well, they always go back to the fundamentals. Let's hit the fundamentals. All right, Joaquin.
Hello, everyone. Um, so I was in retreat last week, so I'm grateful for that. It was really, really good. Got to see some amazing teachers and yeah, some amazing people and also practice. So I came back this week and the latent variable concept testing stuff was merged into dev, but there were some issues that arose from I don't know from maybe making things too fast. I think so. I'm solving those. I think it was in the like a synchronicity between Florian and Madi and Subodh. Anyways, it's I'll put out a PR after the stand-up, so that's solved. And then Chin also merged the token probability stuff into the experimentation branch. So he actually created another endpoint. So what I'll do is just take that and put that as an option to the endpoint that we currently have. So we can have either a percentage score for the statements or ask the LLM for probability distribution over the Likert scale labels, or get the probabilities directly, which is what Chin was doing. So yeah, I mean, no blockers. Everything's good, and the issues should be fixed. Yeah, after the stand-up, and then maybe Florian, if you could just test. I think you were using the wrong endpoint. I think, I'm sorry, but somehow in the midst of this, I think you had to write code that you actually didn't need to. But yeah, it's afterwards everything will be fine.
Sorry. This Joaquin is for the latent variables, for simulating the latent variables.
Yes, so they integrated. So there's like two things. One is the latent variables. The other one is concept testing. In both of them, we have to rate some statements about, in the case of concept testing, about products. In the case of latent variables, about traits. And so there's a lot of intersection. And so I guess all of these two pieces were merged into dev, but there was a lot of things to merge, and I think Madi and Subodh inevitably ran into some issues because there was just a lot of code to integrate, and I just took that task of like fixing the merging, and yeah, Florian also had to fix some things, but there was just a lack of synchronicity, I guess, last week. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but yeah, but it's those things: latent variables, traits, and then concept testing, answering statements about products, testing out products. Yeah.
And do we have a way to test once we put latent variables into the system? Can we run like a quick back test to make sure that the Manhattan distance is improving?
Well, that's the idea. Right now, I think the flag is off. We just have a flag for activating the latent variables, but then we'll start doing experiments. Yeah, and checking those things, subgroup variability. Yeah.
Right. That's very exciting. That's very exciting. If you could come up with a way to measure subgroup variability, that would be helpful. Because people talk about it, but I don't know how to measure it.
Okay, in the platform we already have things like that, right? In the market simulator, there's also actually the mathematical model of like the latent variables. I think right now for some reason we're not getting more than one latent variable in the model, and Subodh is confident that this will get us closer to that. I think there's also a metric. Are you there, Subodh? No, Subodh is not there. Independently of
He was
like the
here
number of
earlier.
latent variables we have, there's a metric for measuring how much variability there is. I don't remember it.
I also noticed sometimes, I don't know if this was just like a data visualization issue or not, but I also noticed sometimes um, the new variables that were created were not getting into the product. Like if someone created a new attribute in the UI, that didn't make it into the experiment. Not the latent variables, but the newly created ones. Maybe that was fixed.
Yeah, that I'm not sure about.
And then okay. Okay, yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious what. Oh, the other thing I would also propose is we have like a lot of. Now we have like a lot of attributes and a lot of persona traits, and now we're going to have a lot of these latent variables. If reducing the number of persona traits increases the subgroup variability, we can consider that as well.
Yes, that's one of the things we had considered as well. I mean, there's a lot of things to experiment then.
Right.
But as I said, like right now the information is just coming in a big string, and I'm just adding the latent variable information to that. But I had mentioned that making it shorter might make the LLM value more the information that we want, right?
Well, right, and we're doing the vignettes too. We never tested the vignettes. Like we assumed that the vignettes are improving the Manhattan distance, but I don't know if we tested it. This is all stuff that I think Florian is working on with his with the sweeps work that he's doing.
Right.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. You got a lot. You got a lot. You got a lot of space to explore.
Yeah.
Is there anything blocking you? Is there anything we can do to help support you?
No. I'll be talking with Subodh once this is finished, and then and Florian as well, and Chin was also working on it. So.
Okay. Very nice work. Very exciting.
All right. Let's bring it back to Chin.
Hi everybody. Happy Monday. Feel free to like interrupt me and like tell me if I'm like if I'm not explaining something well, because I'm like not running out a lot of hours of sleep, so I might start like a sentence at the. You get the idea. But what I was working on is my big task, which is redesigning the results tab under the experiment. I'm adding a new tab, which is like, you can think of it as experiment outcome plus. Just taking all of the information, kind of solving some of the problems that I'm looking to solve with this tab, which is having like a really nice, summary of like, we just want to give like a real answer, I guess. We're not doing that anywhere in the system. A real answer to the experiment. So I built like I've been working with the front end and the back end, and I built like all the stuff around the real meat of it. So I have like the endpoint, I have like the front end changes, and then I got in touch with Tatavi, and then we went through like the JSON, and we picked out like which fields would be like most important. So right now we have like kind of all of the important information from the first tab inside of the market simulator. So, or well, what was called the market simulator. I'm not sure what it's called right now, but um, I kind of have all of that information. But we also want to like take it further. I think I talked to Subodh about this, and he's gonna give me like basically like 4 fields that come from that were generated during the experiment ideation phase. So that's gonna include like the history. When you like do brainstorming, there's gonna be like old questions and stuff. It's also gonna like identify a designation. So if you're like a CMO or something, it's gonna take that out, and then like we're gonna have all of that context basically, and then like we're gonna throw it all into like one, maybe even more than one LLM call, and then like get this really nice answer. So that's, um, yeah, that's kind of what I'm working on, and
Chin, is there a ticket for this?
yeah, there is.
Can you explain it
So
simpler? Sorry, I was
yeah, you're
distracted.
fine. Um,
What's the objective? What pain are you solving for the user?
I've just linked the ticket in the chat. So it's just, um, I mean, the title of the ticket is Business Focused Results Interpretation in the Dashboard. So just like better outcome
Oh, this is
and
for the
results.
R shiny prompts.
No, it's like when you're in the experiments page, like slash experiments, right? You can see all the experiments, and you click on one, and it opens up, and you get like a view. There's like multiple tabs, right? I'm just adding one tab right at the very beginning that has like a really nice answer. Uh, so we could potentially put that inside of Market Simulator, but like right now, this is kind of the scope of the ticket.
Oh, I see. So in the experiment card, you're putting kind of the answer to the business question in the experiment card.
Yeah, and like putting
Okay.
in like yeah, just like drawing from like the entire first tab, basically, like just a lot of context to like get a really nice, hopefully a really nice answer. But
Got it. See if you can connect with Pablo. Pablo's got a bunch of like cool prompts I've seen him use, and he does this like hack
yeah,
where he like loads stuff up into.
he showed me that actually. Like he put all these like charts into O3, and like it kind of did better interpretation than our system right now. So
I know, I
yeah,
know. Yeah, sit with Pablo when you're doing that. That's cool. That's gonna be nice. Also, Ada has a bunch of nice designs that she built for like the experiment summary. I think it's in Figma. I'll try to find it and send it to you.
uh, yeah, that's me.
Okay. Thank you, Jen. Next person is actually Avi.
I finished our financial model this weekend, which was exciting. And not finished, but updated to try to get to Pablo. We had a request for that on Friday, so we're ready. We're ready to deliver that. I'm grateful for going outside. I ran every day for the last 3 or 4 days. I'll probably go running again today. We have 2 VC meetings per day today. I'm grateful that Trump and Xi came to some agreement. Apparently, it's chaos. I've been reading about the Chinese housing market, and like the Chinese housing market on a kind of less wealthy uh, average income has losses that are twice as large as the GFC in the United States in 2008. And so it's like they're having like a 5 to 10 times larger great financial crisis than we had. And this started about 6 or 7 years ago, right before COVID. And then the government kind of pivoted. Instead of like overinvesting in housing, then they started overinvesting in factories. And so that I spent a lot of time this weekend kind of learning about, you know, um, about what happens to overinvestment and a reduction in returns. Anyway, I'll go through the financial model in the demo. I'm grateful for working out and all the interest, and today with Sarah we're doing warm intros to try to increase the meetings from 2 meetings per day to 4 meetings per day at least.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Avi. Mari, the magician.
Thank you, Pablo. Happy Monday, team. Today worked on some of the bugs that were in the div. So we were testing them and we find some bugs. The bug was related to attributes and labels generation. So both and I worked on it and fixed that. Now it's in div. And currently continuing working on AWS.
What's the I noticed, Marty, I noticed this weekend that you had some really good like social media posts, and I really like that thought leadership that you're doing. Is there a way, like I noticed you made some posts on documentation and MCP and all of that stuff. Are those methods that you think we can use here, or were they just like for the good of the world? Because I would love to get MCP working with our endpoints.
Actually, we can use MCP here. So it was pretty easy. It integrated with Fast API and created an MCP server belonging. And our Fast API endpoints are intact. Then we have an MCP server and mounted with the Fast API. So I read about that, and here actually it makes. I mean, there are frameworks, libraries that makes our work pretty easy. So we can integrate that.
Amazing. I mean, we're probably like.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
So if we have an objective of MCP, then we can easily integrate that and have it in a few days.
So the work that Simon's doing to build that chat agent, or the work that Hadi is doing to integrate the chat agent prototype that was built a couple weeks ago, can that leverage MCP?
The chat agent. You said Simon, right?
Yeah.
I haven't looked at that the code, but if it's a Fast API and then it can be MCP exposed. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So if so, I'm not sure how. So if we have an objective, and then we can achieve it about MCP.
And do we have an ETA on releasing dev to prod with all the bugs fixed?
Actually, not sure, but we were going through it. So yes. I'm not quite sure about an exact ETA right now, but I need to test. And but roughly we will have release to prod because we were saying that we were trying to do it on Friday, but then we said let's be on the safe side and do it on Monday. So we went through and testing. So now we're testing. So it will happen this week.
I love not releasing on Friday. Yay! Very nice.
Okay. I'll go next. Excuse me. Um, Happy Mother's Day to everyone. We all have mothers. We all should love mothers. Um, um, Updated our intro deck, changed some language to be a lot more simple. Frankly, I used Listen Labs as a North Star in terms of how they explain what they do, the language that they use. So I will share that with the growth team shortly. It's a work in progress, guys. It is a journey. Obviously, there are a lot of things that we had talked about last week that are in transition here at our company, new features and capabilities that we're working towards. So we have to drive a fine line. I also have a deck specifically for JetBlue that is ready to be published and shared. So, Eric, I'll connect with you after um, to kind of cover that. Um, and that deck is also probably going to be very relevant to Saudi Airlines and any airline because pain points tend to be very similar. It's an industry type of opportunity. And and so I did a lot of work there very late last night in gearing up for that. Um, and outside of that, getting the growth team up to speed and focusing on execution, um, supporting Simon if and when he starts. I'm not sure on those details, but happy to, support and give clarity there. Um, I know our marketing team has been going through finals week, and so that's put a bit of a strain, to be honest, on our execution on that front. I want that to end this week and get back to regular programming. I also shared some ideas from a few newsletters that I subscribe to, and lots of big time deals. I'm going to say this a few times. We have Frog that's going to be doing a formal trial program. These are executives from what is arguably the most prestigious design firm in the world. We would love to have them in our board. Like, there is some high power that is going to be playing with our platform in the production environment. Like, if there's a time for us to index on stability, well, it should be always, but now is the time. They will, if the platform is broken or there's some significant issues, they will factor that into their calculus. We are competing against other platforms and other tools. They've already told us, but they are literally testing it out this week and next. So this is our time to shine. Please. Um, and Yeah, we got some heavy hitters. Thanks to, frankly, Eric. He's got some massive heavy hitters. I'll let him kind of share more about, some of the deals that he's creating, but it's an exciting time. So I will hand it over to Sarah.
No. So, I'm grateful for my family and the things that we're working on today. The highest priorities are the Y Combinator application, um, emailing VCs to get more meetings, and then we have a meeting with New Fund. Um, so just preparing for that meeting today. Um, and those are the top 3 priorities that we'll be working on. Oh, I guess one more thing. And what Y Combinator is going to have a video, like requires a video, and I have footage, but for most people. But if you want to be in the video, send me a little clip talking about yourself to introduce yourself to Y Combinator. That's all.
Yeah. No, thanks for that reminder, Sarah. That's very true.
No problem.
I'm shy.
Call you out. I just wanted it generally.
I'm very shy. All right, Atish.
Don't believe him.
So my first pass at the validation endpoint and adding international data to the create experiment is in PR. But when I create an experiment, I get this R error. So I'm just starting off or working from that to try to figure out if that's related to my code and what's going on in general.
What's a validation error?
No, there's nothing in validation. It's in the create experiment endpoint, there's some error with the R code, so I'm not sure if that's related to my code or not. I just that's just where I left off.
Can you hit the latest diff and try again? If you still see the error.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. We going to the next person? Yeah. I just want to be mindful. Eric.
Hey everyone. So a little bit of a, well actually, so let me start with the positives, right? So I'm grateful for my daughter, who reminds me every day to be kind. So we had a great day together, my daughter and I yesterday. So I worked Sunday and was working with Saudi, and was setting up a meeting for this morning. Rushed around, moved things around here at the house to take care of my daughter, to get her off to school, blah, blah, blah. Ready to go. I'm getting tired. I want to close. I want to bring in cash. I want to bring in revenue. And half an hour before the meeting, I get a message from Saudi that the head guy needs to reschedule for Wednesday. And I'm like, oh, WTF, right? So, of course. So there you have it. So they're bringing like the whole team. So that's exciting because there's a lot there. There's a lot there. So anyway, and but it's all good. So they're on for Wednesday. My meeting's scheduled. Well, Millipore is coming back with a second meeting. They are sitting with my calendar, and should be sending back a meeting for next week. I've scheduled a second meeting with General Catalyst with just me and the Chief Marketing Officer. We're just going to have an informal chat, and I'm going to see if I could sort of figure out what we can do, what we can get her for, like what we can use her for. So those are actual meetings, and then follow-ups is Sachi, and Sachi is, he told me to reach out to him the first week in June. He appreciated my persistence. JetBlue, we're sending he just wanted a sort of a slideshow, just something, and so I'm confident Pablo has put together some fantastic info that's going to grab his attention. And that's it. Thanks.
Very good. Always hunting. I love it. Thank you, Eric. Damari Hadi.
Hello everyone, happy Monday. So my goal for this week is to merge splitting larger components task. I can say I'm almost there. Today I will be working on experiments page, which I think it will not take that much time. And I see that there is an issue with dev. I think it's related to token on the user, which does not happen in another branch which I worked. So I'm gonna fix that one. Yeah, just trying to fix the conflicts and merge my pairs.
Hadi, thank you for all your work in production, and the stability has really kind of over the last kind of couple weeks and months, it's really been at another level. So thank you for fixing our UI. I was thinking about you this weekend because the Anthropic Claude prompts got leaked to the public. I put it in the Get Smart channel, the system prompt. It's very interesting to read, and they're using a lot of the same libraries that you've been using. So I thought that was interesting, specifically like Shad CN and some of the other ones. So that was nice to see.
My pleasure. Yeah, I like to do this stuff.
Very good. I think that's everyone, and we're ahead of schedule, so this is very good. Does anyone have any like outstanding questions or demos that they'd like to highlight? Oh, there we go. Avi, yes.
Demo time. Whoops, that's not what I want to show. All right, hold on. There we go. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
All right, beautiful. I will put this link in the chat as well so that we can all play along at home. Being a kind of shared company, we share everything, including our financial models. Yikes. So this is very kind of atypical to have this level of transparency, but we're all in this together. So let's go through the model. So here we have like a high level roll up of everything. We'll dig in. I'll try to go through this model in 5 minutes here. If anyone sees any errors, if anyone sees any bad assumptions, please say something. The yellow is the